Edinburgh FM, as the chairman, I want to make sure that you know that your brief is to find the best young players in Minnesota and elevate their game. We're counting on you. Make it happen.
Turns his shot, he scores! What a
Well, Dan, thank you for that reintroduction. And hello, folks. I said to you on Wednesday, the story of Minneapolis wasn't over. Something would be out today to tell you what was going on and why things have changed. Well, quite simply put, I put all my eggs in one basket last time in Minneapolis. It didn't work. But I didn't think that was the end of the story. No way. I had faith in American soccer. So I quickly came up with a plan. I was like, what can I do, me, to help the future of American soccer? So I decided that what I need to do was focus on the future. Instead of just looking at these players that I didn't know, let's build the future stars together. So Minneapolis has had a money injection. We went to Capitol Hill, we went to Congress, we knocked on the president's door. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And we were like, we get investments for Minneapolis. Minneapolis City, come on, soccer, it's the fastest growing sport in America. And eventually, we broke someone down. And that person was a man who goes by the name of Jacob Frey. And he was like, I'm the mayor of Minneapolis, funnily enough. And I approve this. And I was like, well, Jacob, thanks. What can you do for us? He's like, honestly, Edinburgh, my friend. He called me my friend. I was like, oh, politicians and friends, they don't mix, you know this. He's like, no, I trust you. Oh, okay. He's like, what do those big teams in Europe have? And I'm like, well, they've got villages, essentially. Manchester City have a village. And he's like, well, you can have the Crowfield. And I'm like, what do you mean by the Crowfield? And he looked at me and went, Edinburgh, God's honest truth here. And I was like, oh God, a politician saying that. Here we go. He's like, I'm going to get you state-of-the-art training facilities, like what they do have over in England. I was like, okay, cool. It's England, but cool. And I'll get you training facilities like that Hibernian team in Edinburgh. It's Edinburgh, but I'll give you that, mate. Alright, cool. So, I'm going to have amazing training and youth facilities. Is that what you're telling me? He says, sure, pal. That's what you want, that's what you get. Awesome. Did I believe him? No. But what did we end up with? Well, let's go have a look at the facilities and let's see what's happened. And holy cheesy doodles! We've got state-of-the-art training facilities, state-of-the-art youth facilities. Wow, a politician that actually doesn't talk out his backside. Amazing. Exceptional academy coaching and exceptional youth recruitment. So, what does that mean? That means I can have the Road Warriors, for example, in defence. And by the way, I've read through some Minneapolis and wrestlers. I could have Mr. Perfect out in the wing or Brock Lesnar up top. This is going to be a fantastic challenge. And we're going to get to share this journey together because I will only be using, now this, you can quote me on, players from our youth or signing. Now, I will still be able to sign, but they need to be under the age of 21. That's it. So you might be wondering, well, okay, that's all good, but what's your backroom staff like? Well, do you remember Dan, who we met at the beginning? Who pointed out, I'll tell you, I'll learn my camera angles eventually, but do you remember Dan that we met at the beginning? Yeah. I brought him back. Sat down with him, I was like, Dan, mate, listen. Who's the man? Dan is the man. And he's like, thanks, my name's Who the Man, haha. I was like, no, but seriously. But my new chairman won't let you back in as chairman, obviously. He's like, well, I understand that. I was like, but I've got a spare role going as my director of soccer. He's like, director of soccer? And I was like, well, director of football is what we call it, but you call it director of soccer. So, bingo, bango, bongo. Let's go see my staff. Bosh. So, I have got one manager, this guy. Got a head of youth development. I've got 3 coaches. I've got 1 scout in, and I will be looking for 2 more scouts. I've got a Doff, who is, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Dan Who the Man. I've got one physio in, but I'll look for some more. And you might think, well, you're that far down, do you really need all that staff? Well, yeah, no. I mean, fine, we're only saying professional for the moment, but once the money ball gets rolling, it could all go well for us. So just to show you, now where is it? Here is my scouting team, where you will find Dan Who the Man. And he's okay. Dan, I could have created you better, mate, but I just wanted random abilities, so there you go. You're my doff. We've also got a technical director in Luan Vinicius Almeida, a Brazilian. So you never know. I might get some Brazilians coming through. Let's have a look at the coaches. What have I got in the coaches? Well, I've got myself. I've got my assistant of Pedro Martinez. Then I've got my head of youth development, Mr. Nigel Alamar. Me and him need to be working on the same wavelength. That's all I'm saying on that. Then I've got a goalie coach, a fitness coach, and a performance analyst. You know what? It's going to work. We've got the best goalkeeping distribution, defensive, fitness, and technical. You might be wondering, well, how can you afford all this? Well, you see, we've got a chairman who's also a sugar daddy. So, let's go see the finances. 503,000 sitting there. I've got a good wage budget, which I won't touch. I've got a good transfer budget. Like I said, the only reason that I've made this much money is so we can keep the facilities up to date. So to try to decrease them, I can say, well, we've got money in the bank. Just pop it in. I'm not going to touch this money, apart from the obvious wages, etc. But you might be thinking, right, well, you've got staff, you've got facilities. Who's leading the charge? Apart from yourself. And I know. I mean, I don't even trust myself to lead the charge sometimes. That's why I've got some players to show. Woo! Let's go meet the players in my starting professional team. So this is the team that is deemed to be strong as possible. Now, what I will say now is there's quite a few unwanted by higher up teams. And that's to be expected when you regenerate players like this. So, some of these guys you might never see. And that's the way the wind blows, unfortunately. But, what I will say is for what's there, and who I've offered contracts to, and who said they want contracts, it's a not bad pile of players. So all these guys, right, even though they're over the age of 21, they will still count as my personal first intake, essentially, because they're all regenerated players. None of them are real players, okay? So what I'm going to do now is these are guys. Let's not go through them because why should we waste time when you might not see these guys play? What we will do though, we'll go to my fixtures and we'll figure out where we're coming back. So stay tuned for that. Now, folks, before we decide where we're coming back, I want you all to do me a little favour. I want you to hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Share this content with anybody you want. And leave a wee comment. I want to break the algorithm. And as this is the first episode in a new series, you know, it's good to try and do that. So let's get this momentum train going. Chugga chugga. As we look to do Earth 2's Minneapolis City to the moon. Now, looking at these fixtures, I think coming back for the very first fixture in Wichita would just be redundant. There's still you go through a transfer window and things like that. So I actually think we're going to come back against Duluth. Now the reason I'm choosing Duluth is because recently in real life, Minneapolis played Duluth and bet Duluth. So Minneapolis, when you get around to watching this video, please leave your highlights in the comments below. I want everyone to see them. So come on, Minneapolis, do your thing. But yeah, so we'll be coming back for Duluth. Now I know this is probably a shorter video than normal, but folks, I want to introduce you to Minneapolis Earth 2. Gotta catch a ring to it, eh? But this is the Kids in America Challenge. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good jazz, right? I've already mentioned it. There we go, I've plugged it a second time. You know what to do. But folks, thank you very much for being my audience. I'll catch you on next time. Take it easy. Bye bye now.